So this is where the state of education is when it comes to 0 to 5-year teachers. In the state of Arkansas, 30% of the teachers have 0 to 5 years experience. Now, why am I focusing on 0 to 5 years? Is because we have an expertise gap, and we start to find it about year 5, we're kind of rolling. If you look at our neighboring states, Texas is about 35% and Oklahoma is 50%. So in schools in this general area, 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 teachers in our schools are new to the profession. That's important, but here's another statistic that we need to keep in mind. Out of that percentage, half of them leave in 5 years. So with your new teacher induction program, this must be a statistic that you have to keep in mind. And let's go ahead and let's line out the reasons why they're leaving in 5 years. The reason that they're leaving in 5 years is, number one, because of the leadership. Now, when we talk about leadership issues, typically what we often think is the principal. I want you to look at the word leadership, and I would like you to flip the 2 words that you see within leadership. Ship of leaders. Teachers leave schools where their ship of leaders is a leaky vessel. So they might like the principal, they might like their assistant principal, but let's just say there's a huge issue in the community and the superintendent and the board are at odds. Okay? When that happens in a school district, the best people look to go somewhere else to work. Here's another thing. Maybe you have a brand new principal in a school. If the brand new principal does not know how to serve teachers, then chances are new teachers will fall through the cracks and they'll leave. But I'm going to go ahead and give you one more issue. Write down teacher leaders. And here's the thing that I need you to understand is that everybody in your school has an impact on the leadership, formal and informal. So the superintendent can be the superintendent of the year. You can have the principal of the year. You can have the most amazing assistant principal. You can have a fantastic central office team, special ed team. But if the informal leaders that are around that teacher each and every day are not supportive and are negative, they'll drive 20 more miles at $5 a gallon to work in a place that they feel respected. That's the first reason, the most important reason why they leave. Okay, that's also the number 1 reason why they stay. Number 2 is discipline issues. So discipline issues are greater than ever before. I can remember when I was an assistant principal in 2002, we did not have this issue called eloping. Kids running, right? Kids running out of the room. We did not have behavior assistants in 2002 when I was an assistant principal. Kids would come to school, you could pick up the phone, you could call the parents. Even if they were not supportive, the behavior would change, right? Now, fast forward 25 years, what has happened? We have kids running, we have kids that are very combative, we have kids that are very aggressive. We have kids that are in severe trauma. And the thing that I want us to understand is that it is not education that is failing. The reason that we have this problem is because society is failing and they're sending their problems to school, which is fine. Our job is to serve every child that walks through our door. But we have to have a real conversation with new teachers to give them perspective of why this problem exists and how do we survive in spite of the discipline. Next to the word discipline, I would like you to write down the word consistency. And the reason why I want you to write down the word consistency is because when teachers work in inconsistent systems, in other words, we're not consistent as a teacher team on how we're going to discipline students. We send the students to the principal's office and one day we're going to discipline them, the next day we're not going to discipline them. Or we're going to bow down to the parents who are raising the most cane. Teachers are going to leave because they feel like we don't have their back. Discipline issues are a massive challenge to public education, but I will tell you this. There are schools with the same discipline problems that you're experiencing in your school, but they are more effective with those discipline problems, not because they have better people and not because they have better teachers. It's because they have better systems, write that word down, for consistency. Because when we work in a system, we are much more effective than when we work in random. Okay? Number 3 reason is stress and workload. How many of our teachers are overwhelmed all the time? And the answer is a lot. And the reason why is because we have expectations from the state, we have expectations from the district, we have expectations from HQIM, we have expectations for testing, we have expectations for special ed, we have deadlines, timelines, we have so many things that are coming at people at once that they are burning out. And so as leaders, as teacher leaders, as mentors, our job is to understand that stress and workload is a huge factor in the teacher retention issue. And the number 4 reason is lack of support. Now, when I talk about lack of support, let me also say this. For my principals and leader friends in the room, write down the letters WT. Walkthroughs. When we are focused on walking through, but we're not providing the walkthrough feedback that follows it, people feel unsupported. In fact, here's the research on walkthroughs. Walkthroughs without feedback are more destructive than no walkthrough at all. Teachers do not like a walkthrough that they have to wonder how they did, or they have to wait for a week to find out how they did. If you can't give them that walkthrough feedback within the day, you shouldn't do the walkthrough. So if you look at numbers 2, 3, and 4, what do numbers 2, 3, and 4 all have in common? They point back to number 1. So do me a favor, put a bracket around numbers 2, 3, and 4, and point an arrow back to number 1. And what I would like for you to do is I'd like you to have a discussion and answer this question. Of the 4 issues that I mentioned, what are the issues that are not a problem for teachers? And then what are the issues on our school that are a problem that we have to address so we do not lose teachers unnecessarily?